Hello everyone, I'm RecV5,
And I am Sandman99.
and welcome back to Madden NFL 2005.
Yes. And as I am typically doing here, I'm going to show a couple of replays before the game.
Indeed.
And that was from earlier today. I was playing a practice game just to stay sharp with the Minnesota Nords, who are in brown, against the Seattle Pigeons, who are in white and gray. And so basically I'm on defense right now, and this is with my new defensive scheme.
Yep.
And I just wanted to show or highlight the guy who's playing right corner. His name is Marcus Lewis. Now, Lewis is not really a very good player. He's got 82 speed. His strength isn't bad for a corner at 51. And of course, he has 99 awareness because he's been playing for a few seasons now.
Yep.
But he has agility of 83. And I think that agility has a lot to do with a defensive player's ability to jam a receiver at the line.
Because he can change directions and keep getting in the way.
Yes, exactly. He can keep getting in the way. So, what I noticed is that linebackers can play jam coverage, but usually if you've got a whole, your defensive group all playing press coverage, usually it's the linebackers that lose their man first.
Yep.
Right? And I think it's because they have less agility, generally speaking.
Quite possibly.
Because this guy also has 79 acceleration, which isn't great for a corner.
Yep.
Right? Like playing right corner, this guy is barely adequate under normal circumstances, but he seems to be able to play jam coverage very well. And in fact, in this game, he got 2 interceptions.
Nice. As
well as 3 defensed passes. And one of this play here, we're just going to show you how he got one of them.
All right.
So if you want to just highlight these 2 players, you'll notice that the receiver takes off from the line, or tries to, and he gets a pretty good bump on him right there. But watch as he turns around and runs with this receiver, and you can see that receiver's a lot bigger than he is. But still, because of the way that the coverage worked out and the receiver went to the outside and he ended up on the inside.
Yep.
And that receiver's running a curl. And guess what? He just runs the curl right along with the receiver.
Yep.
And you'll notice that the receiver there for the Pigeons, his name is Chef. And he is like a 90 rated wide receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got something like 92 speed and very high agility and acceleration abilities as well.
Yep.
Which is why, like Lewis at times had trouble containing this guy. But he did get a couple of interceptions, both of them against this guy.
Yep.
So anyway, if you want to drop out of this one real quick, we got one more quick look at Lewis's play.
All right.
So we'll pause for a moment.
And we're back with another replay.
Yes. And once again, I'm playing a nickel package. And it looks like the Pigeons have audibled because now they have their tight end in the slot on the left side.
Yep.
Right. Normally, I don't put a nickel on against a 4 wide receiver set. I'll usually put a dime out there. So that's probably why I have a nickel package out there. But anyway, as you can see, I've got still a 4-man line. I'm playing a 4-2 nickel here.
Yep.
And I play a lot of 4-man line in this defensive playbook. And I play a lot of man lock and press coverage. So basically I play 5 under 2 just about all the time.
Yep.
Although we'll have to check the coverages in this one. I think I might actually be taking a page out of your book and playing a man 3 flats here.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. But if it's either man 3 flats or 5 under. We'll just have to watch what number 57 there does. I think if he heads out to the flat, then we know that this is what we're doing, right?
All right.
So anyway, when you start to play, you'll notice that the tight end actually in the slot moves in, and he tries to pick up the defensive end on the pass rush.
But he's so out of position.
He's pretty badly out of position, though, so all he does really is just redirect him on a more direct route toward the quarterback rather than, slowing him up.
Yep.
And I use a lot of 4-man rush here, and the reason I do that is because you'll notice that the defensive end at the left side occupies 2 linemen by himself, right?
Yep.
And the defensive tackles between the two of them, well, they keep the rest of the offensive line busy, which allows my widely spaced defensive end around there to come around and get a free shot at the quarterback.
It looks like that might even be a little bit off-target pass, too.
Yeah. But anyway, if we go back out to the coverage, yes, I am in fact playing a man 3 flats here, because you can see
the linebacker running to the flat.
The linebacker running to the flat as well, right?
Yep.
And we got a player going to the flat on each side. But if you watch now, though, you watch Lewis, he locks up again with Sheth, right?
Yep.
And this time he gets a pretty good jam on him, right? And then when he starts to head up the field, now look how close he is covering them, right? And this pass, again, is coming down the field toward the inside. And of course, Lewis has pretty good position, and I think what happened there is that the wide receiver does not get out there fast enough.
Yep.
And the quarterback is leading the receiver, but because of the positions of the defenders and the fact that this guy took a lot of extra time just to break away from the jam, caused this pass to be overthrown, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, Lewis picks off the pass, and you can see I've got a safety right there as well, just in case things go haywire. And then Lewis, he's not very fast. He's not going to outrun anybody. But that was, he actually got 2 interceptions in this game. So, against a player that is a far superior player to him.
The jam coverage really is the equalizer here.
So the jam coverage really seems to be the equalizer. And another thing that's important to note, if you back up and look at the free safety here, okay, this guy has 68 speed.
Yep.
Okay, so Flowers, he's not a fast guy, and neither is Lewis, right?
Yep.
I've got no speed on the right side of the defense here at all. And so what happens is that the jam coverage, actually watch how the safety continues to back up and back up and back up, right? Quarterback still holding the ball, still holding it, finally throws it now. But by the time this pass comes, well, I feel pretty comfortable even with this slow safety being able to, watch that pass be caught in front of him, right?
Yeah.
Sheth is a speed demon, but he's not going to be catching any long bombs down the sidelines or anything like that.
Because it gives the safety more time to back off.
Exactly. The jam gives the safety more time to back up. So, anyway, there you go. A little spotlight on Marcus Lewis, who ended up being the NFL, the league, defensive player of the week.
Nice.
With his 2 interceptions and 3 defense passes in this game. Working against a wide receiver whose overall rating is something like 15 points higher than him.
Yep.
And who's much faster, has much quicker acceleration, but playing jam coverage just seems to be the solution.
Well, he played a good game.
Yeah, and I only allowed 3 points in this game as well.
Nice.
Even though the Pigeons have a pretty high-powered offense, and the Nords actually have a pretty weak defensive secondary. Right, the Nords have a good defensive line and decent linebackers, but their corners are not very good, and neither are their safeties. I mean, if the starting free safety has 68 speed, what do you think the backup looks like?
Oh, God, I don't want to think about it.
Anyway, I guess we'll move on to the game.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and we're just looking at the national newspaper here, and in last week's game, Cedric Perry passed a career milestone. In his 3rd season, he now has 100 career sacks.
100 sacks in 3 seasons.
Yep. That's why I said Cedric Perry is the monster that hides under the quarterback's bed, right? He's amassing statistics like that. He would have to be like the most feared defensive player in the league, right?
Yep.
So
imagine
anyway,
if we had somebody fast at that position.
Yeah, he's not particularly fast. He does have decent acceleration, though, for a pass rusher.
And reasonable strength.
He can overpower, blocking halfbacks and stuff like that, right? Anyway.
We'll just have to hire Brad Doss out of free agency and put him there.
Actually, that's what I did with the Piggies, is that I hired him out of free agency because the Tigers had to drop a player.
Mm-hmm.
And so they dropped their middle linebacker who had 99 speed and 98 acceleration or something ridiculous like that. So I hired him out of free agency and turned him into a right defensive end. And he proceeded to get 20 sacks from the right defensive end position for me in the next season.
Oh my God. Right? And that's not even the optimal position for sacks.
Exactly. Anyway, we're going to finish up the season here against the Baltimore Hawks.
All right.
And the Hawks are actually, it looks like they started off as a strong offense team, but it looks like they built their defense up a little bit from last season.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a little more balanced now, and with a 7-8 record, they're not a pushover. Anyway, if they were to manage to beat us, they maybe might even be contending for a wild card spot. I don't know. I didn't look at the standings beforehand. But at the very least, they're trying for respectability. So, you're no longer work in progress. You've decided now that you're going to...
Yeah, I'm back to Rec B5 playbook again. I mean, the thing is, I still have the work in progress playbook, but now they're two identical playbooks.
Well, you've got an entire season coming up where you'll be able to make refinements and changes to it if you decide you want to.
Yeah, probably not. Actually, I was even looking at my offense the other day, and I might make a few tweaks and changes here and there, but I don't know if I'm going to make any big innovations like you do. Yeah. I mean, you're a lot more inspired than I am. I think next season we're just going to focus on the ground game some more.
Yeah, I know. I was looking over your shoulder, though, and it looked to me like you had quite a lot of pass plays in your offensive playbook, too.
I do.
You just never use any of them.
I just never use any of them. Yeah, that's right. Because I run for 350 yards a game.
Yeah.
And hand the ball off 70 times a game.
Well, it sounds to me like you better maybe draft a good backup for our halfback then.
Yep.
Just in case he gets injured, although he's played through 2 seasons and been pretty durable.
Well, knock on not wood.
Yeah.
But I'd say halfback is probably the most important position in my offense.
Yeah, well, it's an important position in my offense, too, because Kelvin Allen is actually a 1,000-yard receiver this season.
Yep.
But it's not just him they got to worry about.
In fact, I potentially I've got, I think for sure, 3 1,000-yard receivers this season and potentially a 4th. And Kelvin Allen could still possibly reach 1,000 yards rushing if he has a half-decent running the ball today, too.
Yep.
So I think he's at about 940 yards or something right now.
For the game's coin toss.
The Hawks won the toss. Okay. I think we're playing in a dome, so it really doesn't matter which end we defend.
They're lined up for the kickoff, so let's get today's game started.
Well, I guess we'll choose our audibles. And I've made some small changes in my offensive playbook, too. I took out a couple of the less successful formations that I've been using and put in a couple of things that are new. I'm not sure whether they'll stay.
Okay, week 17 and you're still making modifications.
Yeah. But I'm going to change up my my offensive audibles here a little bit just because the 2 sets of audibles I've been using more or less do the same thing.
Right?
And so I want to try and do something a little bit different with my audibles. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe even the 2 new formations that I put in, I might, depending on how things go. Well, it looks like they've got no speed at halfback.
I don't think that's what they focus on, really. I think they're more of a receiving team.
Yeah, they look like they're a passing team for sure.
Looks like they've got a lot of injuries on the line here, though. What the hell is going on?
Yeah. They have a lot of injuries, period. I think their halfback was actually a really good player, too, the starter. but he's out right now too. Right?
Do they have enough offensive linemen to field here? Like, geez.
Yeah, they probably have a pretty thin bench, like no backups. That could explain why their record is only marginal this season too, right? If they're playing with a whole bunch of injured players.
Well, given the speed of their tight ends, though, I think I'm going to go with deep zone arrangements, at least for now. Because they've got 2 speedy tight ends. And I think they're going to be throwing that tight end post over the middle over and over again, like teams love to do.
Yep.
So we'll see how that works.
Oh well, I guess it's time to kick off.
And we're back.
Last regular season game
The visiting team are ready to kick this one
before we
off.
get a week off.
Yep.
Since we don't have to play in the wild card game.
Kick downfield. From the 4-yard line.
I love that. They return it to the right side and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
First play of the game.
Well, Gooden is fast though, right? You know, like I think he's got mid to high 80s speed, which makes it a lot easier to cover kickoffs when you've got a player like that.
Yep.
Only one man in the backfield.
Today, when I was playing my practice game, well, obviously Lewis is also on the kickoff coverage team in the same spot that Gooden is. And Lewis is a little slower, and you have to work a little harder at stopping the kickoff returns.
Yep.
When you have a slower player out there.
Now that was a relatively terrible run.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to do very well running because their backup is, like he's actually kind of slow too. I think he's only got like 77 speed, right?
Yep.
Marsh was stuffed on that play, John.
So he's not going to do much.
Well, I think though too, their line is just collapsing in the middle because they just don't have any quality linemen on the front.
Yeah.
And the linemen they do have are still half injured too, right?
And create all kinds of problems for the defense, John.
This team's very good at freezing the defense. Doesn't sound like much, but getting the defense to hesitate for just a split second to make the difference between a short gain or a
I mean, that was terrible coverage, but you know what? Pass defense.
Yeah. Well, if you can't knock the ball down, knock the receiver down, right?
Yep. He must be applying for the safety position next season or something.
3 plays, they lost yardage. Here comes the punter.
Well, having learned what I've learned about press coverage, I think what I might be doing is looking at the agility ratings.
Fair catch.
And what I might just do is swap some speedier players back into the safety positions and put agility type players at the corners and the nickel and dime positions, right?
Yeah.
Because I think agility seems to have a lot to do. It's not just about strength and out muscling the guy in front of you. It's about being able to keep your body in his way and prevent him from being able to go up the field unimpeded, right?
Yep.
And I think agility has a pretty big influence on whether you're going to do that successfully.
Oh, look, it's an 11-man box.
Yep. They're starting it already.
Drops back. Looking downfield with the throw.
Well, he dropped it.
He had it and lost it.
Okay, well.
Good pass. He just couldn't
Scripted drop.
Yeah, what can you do? But this is something I think I'm going to be keeping. I'm going to keep this formation
Jenkins,
because you can do stuff like this. And if you watch that guy playing the cushion on Herman there.
He surveys the field, throwing on the run.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah.
The 20.
Oh.
That was the corner from the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Great throw on the run.
And the receiver was right there.
So this is a new formation I'm trying out, but I don't know if I'm going to keep this.
He's one of those guys who'll try and buy some extra time with
Okay,
his
so
legs.
it's like a split backs 3 wide receiver except shotgun.
Yeah, and when I do this, sometimes this handoff breaks. I don't know why, because in play design, it worked fine. See
But
that?
sometimes it does just break.
But and if it breaks now, it'll always break for the whole game, right?
That's weird. But then if it doesn't break, it'll work for the whole game.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because when I was, doing it in play creation, it worked every time. It never broke.
It must be just a bug. Something about that alignment or something?
Yeah, for some reason, he just won't hand the ball off, even though everything looks like it should be going just fine, right?
He's looking. It's rid of it.
Well, maybe if you were to move the backs in one, maybe that would make a difference.
I think I'm just going to drop those formations, to tell you the truth. If something doesn't come from it, then I think what is probably going to happen is I'll probably try adding some offset eye, because I kind of like the offset eye as well, right?
I know you're always preaching to me about the offset eye.
I like it.
Always trying to get me to put the offset eye in my playbook.
Drops back, looking for an option. Throws on the run. Makes the grab.
You know, I'm surprised that safety didn't play it better, considering that was the only receiver on his side of the field, and he was looking at him the whole way.
Yeah. Well, it was man coverage, though, and that particular pattern works well against man coverage. See, this is a characteristic that when you start with only one receiver on this side, and I basically built this out of the shotgun 3 wide receiver formation, right? And when you move him in here, he stops in the slot, and then you give him a 90 cut at the line, and look at how it makes the corner take the inside position.
Yep.
So when he breaks to the outside, right, and that pass is basically thrown in front, like I aimed it outward and downward.
Yep.
To try and throw it so that the safety wouldn't be able to jump on it, right?
And it's on its way, and the extra point is good.
And by the way, Bo Jenkins has already passed for over 6,000 yards this season. So anything that he gets after this is a bonus. And I think that might have been about his 54th touchdown pass of the season or something like that.
Yep.
Oh.
Nice distance.
Hey, it's going to stay in bounds.
It's going to the opposite side, but
And you've got Nipper.
To the 20. No first downs on that last possession, John. Let's see what adjustments they've made here now to try to move
But anyway,
the ball more effectively.
like I said, I like the offset eye. I think that I need, if I'm going to have a little bit more success running than I have this season, I need to have more formations that are possibly suitable for it.
Yeah.
And the offset eye, both strong and weak are 2 wide receiver sets. And if you use motion a little bit to set things up and stuff like that, you can also pass out of those formations
The corners
too.
are backing off. Mark, the lone back. Robinson moves in motion. You could hear the collision up here.
Now, the right guard did a good job of blocking me there. I couldn't move.
Yeah, but at least you kept him occupied so he couldn't get down there and block one of those 2 guys that made the tackle, right?
The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. With the pass.
Ooh.
That's the curl flat guy there.
Yeah, that's why you have that soft coverage on that side, eh?
Yep. Because they like to fire out those short, it's like a 5-yard corner route.
Yeah.
Like just a stock 5-yard corner, and they like to fire those out underneath the deep zone and underneath the backed up man coverage. So you roll a curl flat in that area, and he's standing right in the path of the ball when you throw it.
Fair catch called for.
And especially with how they have to throw those towards the sideline, they have to throw them hard, right? Or else they go out of bounds. So you're not going to throw it over the guy. You'll be throwing it right at his face. And so even though he doesn't have hands, because he has hooks for hands, he'll still get in the way of it.
Jenkins sends a man in motion. tucks it away.
Well,
He's brought down
I don't know why
behind
that outside guy didn't block him.
Loss and great pursuit there, John.
You can
Man.
say that again. He knows how to prepare, and it really pays off when you make stops like that.
Second and long coming up here. Rhodes goes in motion. Looking for a receiver.
Nice
And he
find
makes
on
the
Coleman
grab.
there.
Gordon makes the stop at the 45.
Well, when they look like they're playing a zone defense, you have to look to the side where it appears you've got them outnumbered, right? And usually if you do that, you'll be able to find somebody. And I had, you know, in the zone defense there, I basically had them outnumbered 3-2 over on that side, right?
Dropping back under pressure, incomplete.
He was open, you just got hit.
Yeah, I got hit as I threw and the ball went into the dirt.
Needs a little time to look over the field. There we saw a
And that was a
defense
fast
who
pass
wasn't
too.
giving
Like
any
I
time
was
at
just
all.
throwing to the tight end in the flat there.
Did somebody come through the line untouched there or something?
Probably, yeah. Usually, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. See that? He just looped around him, right?
Yep.
Because he was wide open all the way. You know, like there was again, three receivers to 2 defenders, right?
Yeah, no coverage guy on that side.
Yeah. So basically, the 2 wide receivers are going to draw the coverage off, and this guy's going to be wide open, right?
Yep.
But unfortunately, the line was not smart in how they
Let's
traded.
get back to the play on the field. So 3 and out, and they'll line up to punt.
I mean, I was never a professional football player by any means, for sure, but it seems to me like logic would dictate that if you see the line, the defensive line shifted to one side, okay, that means that you 5 guys on the offensive line, you have to trade to that side. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You trade to the side that they appear to be trying to run around, not the other way, right?
Only one man in the backfield. Mark.
Ah, he went around me.
Yeah.
John, one of your
That's
favorite
okay.
terms
Nipper
right
will
there.
take his knees out from under him.
Yeah, but that's worse than a boom.
Well, you know what? With that guy's speed, that might be just about the longest run he gets today, too.
The corners playing back. Throwing short to the right side.
Had to curl flat on that side.
Yeah.
Makes the play at the
Well, if they're going to try to
34-yard
start
line.
throwing those now, then I might want to switch over to hard flats on both sides.
1st and 10. The corners are backing off. Mark lines up behind his fullback in the eye. Pushes it out to the left. Jones brings him
Danny
down at the
Jones.
35
Yep, Danny Jones over there making the tackle.
Tackling the fullback.
Second and 9 coming up here.
But yeah, I'd say if you intend to continue your
Mark, the deep man. Hand goes in motion.
Chuck Knox impersonation next season, probably a couple of offensive linemen and a halfback would be good draft choices, right?
Oh, he ran right past me.
Yeah, or you ran right past him, one or the
Yeah.
other.
49-yard line.
I went to meet him, and he just kind of stopped.
Yeah, maybe he stopped and let you run by him, and then he kept on going, right?
That's right, yeah.
Great job of blocking.
Well, he's not very fast, so he's got to be shifty, right?
They line up in the I formation. McGuire sends a man in motion. Closing in, throwing. Great play in the backfield.
Wow, I almost made the tackle on the screen there.
Yeah.
You know, he did a nice job of putting that pass where only his receiver could make that catch.
Yeah, only his receiver could make that catch 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
The quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. Grant. Play action.
I got pancaked there.
Gets rid of it, and he makes the grab.
And then he threw to the halfback that he did the play fake to anyway.
One thing, he's going to feel that in the morning.
McGuire delivered the pass right on time, John.
I love the
Well,
way
that's
he
how it
plays
goes.
football. He has
That
great
was that
touch.
play action, and then he just runs like a hook in the middle, right?
Yep.
McGuire with a man in motion. Pressure on the move. And he hits his target. That brings him down at the 32.
Well, I'm playing a deep zone in that area, and that's who made the tackle there. It's just, he
he's
hot
just
potatoed that out of there.
he's just forcing it in there too, right?
To pick up that first down.
I know the game I played today too, they kept forcing, even though I played a lot of that kind of coverage with that guy dropping deep from the line, they kept trying to force it over the middle there all game long, right?
Sends a man in motion. Martin. Big pop that time.
You want someone there to
Well, the only reason I made the audible I did there is because they motioned that tight end out into the slot.
Up front, holding their block and allowing him to get a good run for a first down.
And this is the 9th play of this drive. In field goal range now. So they're inside the 20. Need to get a touchdown. Drops back. Gets the pass off. He hits his receiver. Number 20 makes the tackle at the 17-yard line. Steven picks up about 4 yards on that reception.
Well, they're picking at you and just short passes and runs up the middle, eh?
Mm-hmm.
This is the 10th play of this drive. They're in field goal range. They'll go from the I formation. Jacob, the motion man. Hand off to the tailback.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Well, he only got a yard out of that anyways, so.
Yeah.
They'll have to get to the 10 to convert. Kansas City brings everyone up to the line of scrimmage to be in better position for any type of run. Robinson in motion. Rolling right.
Oh, look
Yes.
at this.
Look at Cedric Perry.
Yeah, Cedric Perry on the delayed sack. I guess you'd call that a coverage sack, eh?
Yeah, well, let's take a look at what
Because that
happened
took
there.
a very long time.
All right, I told everybody to press,
Yeah, they left tight end into block there.
but look at this. Look at who comes over and picks up the coverage here.
Yep.
That's great. I wish I could see that all the time. They only send 3 guys out into the route.
Yeah, you had extra coverage in the middle there because the guys who had the man coverage responsibility on the extra blockers
Just kind of hung
basically
around in the middle.
hung around in the middle of the field, and then
Look
of
at
course,
how covered that is.
and then of course they don't have any patterns that are going to the outside.
Listen, number 81 is obviously the guy you throw the ball here to.
Yeah.
So let's pick up the
You know, like if you're going to leave 2 extra guys in the block, you pretty much have to pass to the outside, because if they are playing man coverage,
They'll all hang around in there.
they're going to have 2 extra defenders in the middle if you leave 2 extra guys in the block, right?
Yep.
So you can't throw, if that's the disadvantage to leaving extra backs or tight ends in the block, is that it takes away your own over the middle receiving options.
I just got hit stick there.
Yeah. Well, we're not doing much on the ground here so far.
Directing traffic. Hand it off to the fullback. Ooh, that one will leave a
Well,
mark.
Parkman will get you 2.
Yeah, he'll get me 2.
Back to the stadium.
And a pickup of about 2. About 8 yards. Rhodes, the man in motion. Drops back. He surveys the field. Throws on the move.
And that is why you don't play hyper-aggressive man-lock defense.
Yep.
Right?
As hard as he throws it, he always seems to put the ball right on the receiver's
That was a linebacker covering him. That linebacker did a good job there, too.
Yeah, I know.
But he's still a linebacker.
But he's still a linebacker, right? He might have done a good job for a linebacker, but he's still a linebacker. Trying to cover a wide receiver.
Switch sides, and we'll start in the second quarter. So they have 1st and 10 here. Rhodes, the motion man. Throwing on 1st down. Throwing.
Wow, good block by your left halfback there.
Yeah, this is actually a dual halfback formation. So yeah, that's Kelvin Allen there, dishing out the block. See, what I did here by moving Rhodes in to the slot again is I'm giving him more room to run this little out so I can run it to the short side of the field, right?
Yep.
And that 90-degree cut at the line really seems to do a good job of tying, like turning the inside cut, like turning the coverage guy inside out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, so now they're going to try a little bit of 4-man line here. They must have known that I was going to run up the middle.
Looking for room. Mays makes the tackle at the 37-yard line. And John is still trying to move the ball on the ground.
This is a tough physical team that likes to run the ball in just about any situation. When you can run the ball consistently, it really wears down the interior line and helps to slow down those pass rushers.
Directing traffic.
Go, 49.
With the pass, he finds his man. Snow
It's all holding.
brings him down.
Yep, they're going to give me a holding penalty.
This one is going to be on the offense.
I don't know what the heck that was all about. There wasn't any holding on that one.
Was there any holding on that one? We should actually check the replay on that.
Yeah, I wonder after that last time around, they called it on the left guard. Well, I don't know if that was holding. It happened after the ball was already gone. I don't know.
Let's get back to the action.
I think a lot of those calls are dice rolls, right? Okay, well, it looks like I can at least run this way.
On the call. Gordon stops him dead.
Man, that's that linebacker, I think, who covered that pass well, too.
Yeah.
He just reacted super. They must have a key player at that position.
That's just the case of
Quite
studying
possibly.
game film this week paying off. When you know what they like to run in certain situations, you can anticipate the play call and stop the play before it even gets started.
Looking for an option, fires it out to the left. Rojas records the tackle at the
Well, you're in a
39.
good position to punt and pin them inside the 20.
Yep. Yeah, I think they have a very much improved defense over last season.
Will be his second of the day.
Although they helped themselves out a little bit there with that random holding penalty too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very shallow punt.
He tried to field that.
Yeah. I guess I kicked it just far enough away from him that he couldn't.
First and 10. Playing Hand it off to the back. Stop.
You're not
Ooh.
going anywhere, buddy.
You know, Johnny always seems to be.
Yeah, not having any of that, eh?
He's all about effort. His motor's always running at 100%, and he's got the experience.
It bugs the hell out of me when they run, right?
Taking off.
Yeah, although personally, I don't think that the AI does it enough, right?
Uh-oh.
That could be, well, we'll get a look at your brand new left outside linebacker.
Yeah, who is in that position now? Let's take a look.
I think he's that giant he's like a converted defensive end or something.
Oh, we've got Cedric Perry in there twice.
Okay, that's weird.
That's a little bit busted.
Yeah, that's
that might be from the hold on here. Now we need to fix this. Okay, we'll go Cedric Perry. Then we'll go Dwayne Matthews. Then we'll go Platt. I bet you that's from a auto depth chart reorder.
Yeah.
The auto depth chart reorders kind of fuck things up sometimes. So we'll see. Thing about Matthews is he's not very smart. He's got very good agility.
Yeah.
For a linebacker. So we'll see.
And we go back to the game.
Actually, yeah, I just looked there, and I don't know whether his acceleration is damaged because of the injury.
I think it is.
It was only showing us 45 for.
Lined up in an eye. He'll get it again. Number 95.
Yeah, I do think it is. Well, I held them inside their 10.
Yep.
That's because they're continuing their effort to establish a run game here in the first half.
Nothing happening for the offense. They're forced into a 3-and-out.
All right, I have full of faith in Matthews' ability to play that position.
From the 46.
So
kicked the line drive right at you there.
2 yards on the return.
Yeah, and look at you get to start on the 36.
Yep.
But I have full faith in Matthews' ability to play that position.
Number 47 goes in motion. Going to the air on first down. Throws it. This one ball's
looks like a drop.
It's tipped away by the cornerback.
That's a good
They're saying it's a tipped pass.
Yeah, maybe.
The receiver can't make the catch.
Jill, any more information on the injury?
Well, it looks like he'll be back.
I talked to the team doctor, and he indicated that it is a minor injury. They expect that he'll take a series or 2 off, then return to the field.
All right,
He
Jill,
just
thank
hit
you
that
for
guy
the
too
update.
hard.
Holy crap! Did you see how that guy was unblocked coming at me there?
Yeah, but holy crap, did you see that shoestring catch by Coleman?
Yeah.
Throw off his back foot that time, John.
Got to be careful on throws like that. You got to try and set your feet, put your lower body into it. That kind of thing has a tendency to hang up there. A lot of times that gives the defender just enough time to move into position to make a play on the ball.
Jenkins sends a man in motion.
Let's not cover the guy who was motioned out into the flat. Sounds like a plan to me.
On the run. And this pass is completed. He can't wrap him up. Incredible
Wow.
pass by the quarterback.
And that's one of those passes you see a
Well,
lot.
Calvin Allen made that
The
touchdown,
receiver's
though.
not even looking, but then he looks up and the ball's right there.
Yeah, I just called that. Right, that wasn't even an audible play. That was just I decided, since they're working so hard to stop the run, that I'd just come out passing.
Mm-hmm.
The kicking team heads out onto the field. And it's on its way, and he tacks on the extra point. The visiting team.
In that practice game I played today, I was still playing with the Nord's backup, right? Because their starter's injured, the quarterback. And I still threw for 500 yards with the scrub backup, right?
From the 4-yard line.
And that's because the AI teams that play so aggressively against the run that it's just easy to pick them apart if you decide that you're willing to throw as many passes as they seem to want to force you to do, right?
Yeah.
He tucks it away.
I got away, but... Oh, what is that?
The 40.
Good thing he's not fast, because that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah, that was such bullshit. So first of all, I get off my guy, but I can't get off him fast enough.
Yeah.
And then he gets off his guy, but he can't get off him fast enough. Like, why can't this end in an arm tackle?
I don't know.
All right?
But then look at that,
this.
you get like 67 pancakes one guy and then turns around and gets another one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Total bullshit. And I'm pretty sure Mills would have dove here if I hadn't have taken control of him.
Yeah.
Total bullshit.
Talk about taking your man out of the play.
Well, it's just fortunate that that guy does not have much speed.
I mean, he just
Yeah, they're trying every cheesy thing in the book here.
Well, I know with my system I've only played 3 games, but I haven't allowed a long run up the middle yet. Because even I think the longest run I allowed was about 10 yards, and even then, there was still 3 defenders unblocked around the running back when the tackle was made, right?
Yep.
And that's because with the 4-man line, you occupy at least 4 of the offensive linemen, and then if they do have an escapee, it's a little bit harder for him to get up the field to block a safety, because usually he has to block a linebacker, right?
Yep.
And if he doesn't, then the run fails anyway, because the linebacker gets the ball carrier.
Now that is what football's all about.
And they go as a defense with the run.
They're going to keep running to see what the other team is willing to give them on the ground out there.
The corners move up to play this one tight. The quarterback gets set with only one back behind him. And he just got level.
Yeah, you know that whole deal about what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Well, the unstoppable force won that one.
You got to remember about the difficulty spike too, right? This is week 17, so you're going to see the week 17 difficulty spike, right?
Well, that's okay. We held them to a field goal.
Yeah. Which means that they're going to do lots of cheesy things to try and make it harder to win the game, right? And that's what I found, is that it's more difficult to win late season games than it is to win early games, right?
Yep.
Because even lower echelon teams seem to play harder near the end of the season, or in this case, more cheesy things happen, right?
Yep. There you go. I got you a good return that time.
Yeah.
And broke a tackle.
So we'd expect them to try to continue to do the same thing and move the ball through the air against this defense. He sees something in the defense. Gets the call. Missed tackle.
That was a good run.
Yeah.
At the 42-yard line.
Watch it here. He makes a pretty good adjustment, and he brings it down. He's got the body control and agility to make up for the mistake on his angle of pursuit.
Directing traffic.
Black 64.
Passing on first down.
Funny thing is, I'd called a dive play there, right? And then the next thing you know, you've got 4 upright players between the defensive ends, right? You watch, I'm going to call this dive play again. We'll see. See that?
God.
All of a sudden, they got 5 upright players in the box, right?
That was a defensive end curl flat.
Yeah. I didn't have time to send the guy out, right?
Play there, John. They have a second and short now.
Yeah, and what made it work is a good pass protection and the look off. He just didn't give anything away on that one.
Well, that's all right. You're moving the ball pretty good here.
Calling an audible now.
Okay, in theory, this should work. I should be able to just run up the middle for a yard or two, right? In theory. Because I totally outnumber them. So, yeah.
Just enough to convert. He bulldozes through the line for the first.
His motor was really running on that play.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really
He was able to push
am
forward
sold
enough to
on
get the
this.
first.
So
Oh
we
well,
have first and
not
10.
every new thing you come up with can be a success, right?
Yeah. I just thought I would try it.
Jenkins sends a man in motion.
That was an interesting motion.
Yeah, I discovered that actually.
Throwing on first down. Surveying the field. Throwing on the run.
It seems to work pretty well for passing, though.
15-yard line.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, having having one of those running backs hanging around back there to block can sometimes be nice. But what I did here is I'm sending Allen up the middle on a streak, and he runs a corner, and then of course Rhodes stays down in the flat and brings this guy down, right?
Back to the game.
Which gives me more room to complete that pass.
It's first and 10. Jenkins with a man in motion. Receives the handoff. Open road to the end zone. Misses it.
Well, did you get the first? I don't
I
see
don't
them
know.
moving the
It's
chains.
close.
I'll tell you what,
Nope.
he's going to feel that in the morning.
They're not going to let me have it.
Guy who's a feature back. This is the kind of guy you're talking about.
Well, that's okay. You could give it to Parkman here and run it down to 2 minutes.
Yeah, look at that. You see, if I tried running that play, in fact, I did try running that play, or play very similar to it, earlier in this drive against a 3-4, and I barely got 2 yards.
Well, you run it against the goal line.
But you run
get
it
like
against
6.
the goal line, you get like 6, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the goal line defense is just busted in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
This one is handed off.
Now, this is exactly how to get the ball in the end zone. Just get in behind the center and guard and keep pushing and pushing until they're putting
Like
up
the
6
goal
points on
line
the board.
defense, as far as I can tell, is just dog shit
Yep,
for
it's
what
terrible
it's
against-
supposed to do.
Terrible against the run.
Because they for the characteristics against runs up the middle, they might as well put a 4-3 or a 3-4 out there and then just play man lock and bunch everybody in the middle, right?
Hey, what do you think I do?
I know.
I play a 4-3 and I play man lock and I bunch everybody in the middle.
Yeah. Actually, I have only had an opportunity to try my goal line defense once. In 3 games, I've only actually put my goal line defense out 1 play.
Well, it
Because-
sounds like you might smoke my shoes right off me in terms of defensive success.
From the
Well, I
4-yard
don't know.
line.
And I can't really tell if it's a good system or a bad system. Although the one play that I did put it out there for, they tried to pass, and I managed to get a tip pass for an incompletion in the end zone, right?
Ball
So
on their own 20.
so far so good, I guess.
Marsh, the lone back. Passing on first down. Throwing. Perfect throw. Number 20 makes the stop at the 30. Throws it. He finds his man.
Well, it's good. They're going to run out of time if they keep throwing short passes like that.
And part of that is because he makes a lot of passes like these. They're almost like long handoffs.
Throwing on first down. Throws on the run. Pass comes in low, but he has
Shoestring
it.
catch.
He's
Yep.
known throughout football for his precision
Well, they
and
didn't
accuracy.
challenge it,
And
so.
with good reason. You talk about accuracy, hitting spots and leading receivers, he can do it all. And he makes it look so easy, too. I really like watching him.
Well,
The quarterback
not sure why that guy got away from his coverage man so badly, but at least the guy jumped up and knocked the ball away.
And this is the fifth play
Yeah,
of
who
this
knows?
drive.
Maybe he was
Can't figure this
out of
one
position
but they
because of
keep
the hurry
backing
up.
their corners
Yeah,
and
probably.
safeties, even though they'll probably see a run here. Marsh, the lone back. He hands it off. Across midfield. Number 20 makes the play at the 46. The defense just dropped the safeties and corners into deeper coverage. Hard to explain this one.
Oh, well, that time he missed.
At the 35-yard line. They want to hurry it up here. Kansas City walks its safeties and corners up closer to the
They've
line
still
of
got 2
scrimmage,
timeouts
better
left.
Position for a run. Ball on the 35-yard line. And this is the 7th play of this drive. Just about a minute left. Only one man back.
All right, now they're going to back up 5 yards.
Ingram moved a little early there.
Yeah, the rule for the offensive line is once you put your hand down, you can't move until the ball's snapped.
Marsh, the lone back. Looks like he's changing the play. Going to the air on first down. Throwing. This one goes to the fullback on the right side. Ooh, that one will leave a mark.
He got hit so
Yeah,
hard,
that wasn't
Gardner
gonna
had
go
take
too
a
far.
taxi back to the stadium.
Yeah, he kind of slipped out of the man coverage there. It looked like there might have almost been a pick.
Yeah, that's something else I noticed that playing press coverage tends to do too, is it works really well against those multiple receiver formations where they've got like 3 receivers on one side or something. Because a lot of those kinds of formations, bunches and stuff like that, they have pass routes crisscrossing each other and that kind of thing. And when you jam all of those guys at the line, it really screws with those kinds of pass routes, right?
With the throw, he just can't find a way to bring that one in. Not much touch on that pass.
He may have tried to put a little too much oomph on that throw.
And this is the 9th play of this drive.
Going for all speed.
Marsh, the lone setback. Jacobs, the motion man. Under
Ah,
pressure.
wow. Looked like you had an extra guy just decide to join the pass rush there.
And
They
you
must
see
have left
that
someone in the
kind of thing
block.
out of these
Yeah,
guys
they
a lot.
probably did. Son, occasionally the guy covering will decide to join the pass rush instead of hanging back, right?
Yep.
Number 4.
That looks like that's what happened there, and they weren't prepared to handle him, right?
Here's the punt. No
Well, I managed to give that guy a bump.
Back it comes to
Yeah.
the 20.
Well, slowed him up a little bit.
1st and 10.
And I'm just going to pound it up the middle here.
Hand off to the tailback. He just unloaded on him.
Boom. Now that is what football's all about.
He could be seeing more carries after that.
If the defense is looking to force these guys out of their game plan, they're
Looks
gonna
like I
need
gotta
to
run
attack
one
the
more
ball carrier
play.
and punish him every
Yep.
time.
Set. Purple, 64. 64. Black, 64.
It's rid of it, and it's caught. Snow is the guy who's
Nice
All
safe
right.
pass.
Yep.
the 32.
Well, it looks like
End of the second
we got
quarter.
things well in hand here.
Yep.
And it's time for the halftime stretch.
All right. And we're back.
Yes, and I just wanted to point out something. That this is something that maybe all AI teams should do. I mean, these guys are playing with a lot of walking wounded and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at their first half statistics, they've got 81 yards rushing, which is more
Very
than what,
respectable.
yeah, which is more than what most AI teams get against us in an entire game. And if you go down here, you see that their time of possession is actually about the same as ours, even slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
And that has resulted in a score at halftime of 21-6. instead of it being a complete runaway by halftime like many of our games are, right?
Yep.
And if you look at what they've done, they ran the ball 17 times, right?
Yep.
And their running back, in spite of him being the backup and he's not fast and all that kind of stuff, because they are testing the middle and hitting, what is basically the soft spot in your defense.
Yep.
They are picking up 5 yards per carry, and that's pretty respectable.
And they even got some points out of it.
And they got a few points out of it. Like they've also thrown 17 passes, so their pass run ratio is 50-50. And I'm not saying that every team should play exactly 50-50, but maybe they should at least strive to be close to that, because it keeps you guessing, right? You don't know now if they're going to run the ball or pass most of the time.
Well, I'm still going to play the pass anyways, just because of the personnel they have on their team, right? Because the moment I stop is the moment I'll give up a long bomb touchdown.
Yeah. But still, having the willingness and the ability to try to run the ball like that, has helped them to keep this game, at least if not close, respectable, right?
Yep.
So far.
Jenkins sends a man in motion. They'll pass on first down with the throw, and he makes the grab.
Oh, really?
At the 49.
Okay, well, I'm going to challenge that fumble.
Let's go to Jill Arrington.
Hi, Al. The coach is
Without even looking at it, because I know that 7 out of every 10 times that this happens, I end up being right. And I think I'm right this time, too, by the looks of it. Right? They have so many of these non-fumbles, things that could change the course of the game if you don't use the challenges, right? They basically built the use of the challenges into the game. Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a fumble.
And that challenge was a good decision as the ball is.
It was not a fumble.
Sometimes the official sees what you see, and sometimes he sees something else. But this
So I'm
time,
going to come out doing
everyone
this,
can see the call
basically
being
calling
changed.
dives up the middle. And if they crowd everybody in the box, then I'll audible to a
Running is
pass.
important, but they've got other weapons
And
that
if
can
they
get them in the end
don't,
zone.
well, then I'll try running up the
Looks like
middle.
he's calling an audible. Calling an audible. Number 86. Slips the tackle. Big
Go
pop,
Parkman.
big pop.
Boom. That is
And that's
big
because
basketball.
actually this dive play is it attacks the line at a slightly different angle than the one that I use as an audible, right?
Yeah.
The one I use as an audible basically hits the gap between the center and the guard.
Yeah, and this one's between the guard and the tackle.
And this one's between the guard and the tackle, yeah.
Looks like he's changing the play. Jenkins with a man in motion.
And if they bunch everybody in the box like that, well, then I'll drop back and throw a pass.
Dropping back with the throw.
The same pass that I threw last time.
Levy makes the tackle at the 27-yard line. Dumps the ball out to his receiver, and that'll bring up a first down.
First downs are critical in this game. And when the quarterback calls your number, you want to make sure you make the catch and don't mess something up.
Directing traffic. They'll pass on first down. Throwing, and he makes the grab. Snow stops him at the 21. Rose with the reception.
I think we'll just keep doing this so long as it keeps working, eh?
Just inside
Yeah, well, why not, right?
Because I might not actually get 81 yards rushing in this game at the rate that this is going.
Jenkins sends a man in motion. Drops back. Steps up into the pocket with the pass.
But he was really wide open.
That was terrible coverage. That was horribly played.
Yeah, this is the third quarter breakdown where they stop doing the things that were keeping them in the game in the first half, and they start doing dumb stuff, right? You know, like what they're doing here. They're bringing that linebacker way out there on a blitz, which is pretty obvious, which is why I took very short drop and stayed in the pocket,
Yep.
right? Because I knew that that guy was coming. I could tell just by the way that this defensive formation looked. And I know from the way they're aligned that they're playing one deep. So I can probably try and hit Mills on this corner route because nobody's going to be in the right... You know, he even had time, this ball was thrown a bit behind him, he even had time to turn around to catch it.
I can't believe he beat that man coverage guy so badly.
Yeah, because he's not that great of a receiver, right? He has a good catching rating, but that's about it.
Yeah, he's basically a possession-style receiver, so I can't believe he opened him up like a can opener there.
The visiting team are ready to kick this one off.
Yeah, I don't have any superstar receivers on this team, right? They're all basically very average players.
He got all of that one.
Because you won't let me draft a speed receiver because you don't like fast receivers.
That's right, I don't like fast receivers. They're too fast.
So Mills is actually the fastest receiver on the team with like 83 speed, right?
Yup. There is such a thing as too fast, my friend.
But I still managed to stretch the field even with the players that I've got, right?
Yeah, imagine if you had your dream team out there.
First down, but still trail.
Yeah, they're getting some
They're called the Spitfires. Where I've got 5 wide receivers that all have more than 90 speed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Than the offensive line. When your defensive guys up front,
Yeah, you basically score at will with those guys.
It makes it
Yep.
very difficult to move the ball on offense.
Closing in. This one falls incomplete.
Oh, that's Cedric Perry saying hi.
And it missed the mark. The pass
Yep.
rush
Give him a
almost
shot,
got to
make
him.
him get up afterwards.
Chance to set his feet. I'll tell you one thing. This defensive coach sure has his defensive lineman.
I noticed he threw that into coverage too, right? I think they was just trying to get rid of it before you could sack him, right?
Drops its safeties into deeper coverage to be more prepared for the long pass. Jacobs, the man in motion. Pressure with the throw, in and out of his hands.
I mean, I'm not really terribly impressed with the coverage there, but at least he didn't hold on to it.
Yeah, well, there were 3 guys there, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I would have never thrown that pass, but
Well, that's why you have the layered overlapping coverages, because even with 99 awareness, these guys have brains the sizes of peas.
well, I think I had a pretty good success working out of the wishbone here, so maybe we'll keep doing that for a little while.
Despite very little success running on first down, they still lead.
Some teams manage to get by pretty well without a solid running game. And that's mostly because their passing game is very effective, especially their short passing game.
They have to get the ball inside the 42 to convert. Hands off to the tailback. Big hit on the ball carrier.
And when you talk about getting unloaded on, that's what happened here. He just got unloaded on.
They have to get the ball inside the 42 to convert. Hawks come out in a nickel package. Rhodes, the motion man.
Okay, looks like zone defense of some kind.
Drops back with the pass, and it's complete.
Now, Coleman's been real reliable all day today.
Yeah, well, you know what? It looked to me like it was going to be pretty obvious that he was going to be the guy open too, right? The way that, just the way that the defense lined up there.
Jenkins with a man in motion.
Go, 19.
Give it off again. Can't bring him down.
Oh, look at this touchdown!
There, I think he-
running play that goes the distance.
I think he finally maybe made his 1,000 yards.
Yeah, maybe.
Looks like you got a bonus plan on that one.
Hey, look at Joe Winters there pancaking the corner.
Yep, he did a great job on that play.
So that's all I really needed, right? I get that good block by the pulling lineman, and then the safety comes up there, and I only have to break one tackle, and then I'm gone, right?
And we're back.
Well, if he isn't at 1,000 yards by now, he's
Comes in for the
close.
extra point. And it's on its way. The extra point attempt is good. The visiting team are lined up for the kickoff.
Such a difference from the first half, right? Like in the first half, they seemed to have a plan,
To the 20.
and they seem to be kind of sticking with it. But now they've completely fallen apart, right?
Well, maybe there's something to that. I don't know.
That's what I noticed. It seems to be a trend. The AI, even if they start off playing you tough in the first half, they seem to fall apart and basically self-destruct in the third quarter, right?
John, their first down rushing average is very impressive.
Yeah, sometimes a strong running game doesn't always translate into...
Wow, I was trying to bring him down for a while.
Yeah. Well, it's like he stopped and then backed up and then tried to change his angle of attack,
And
right?
then he ran right back into me, yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird.
9 yards to go.
Weird.
Well, I don't think you're going to see as much run game now, because I think now with this kind of a deficit, they are probably going to go more to a passing attack now.
He surveys the field, throws it.
Boom!
Incomplete. That
Just
looked
get
like
flattened by a
pass until he
defensive
got
end like
Yeah.
20 yards downfield, eh?
Yeah.
You know, those are the
That's what I
types of
love to
hits that
see.
Fans hoop and holler over. You want to see stuff like that in every game.
Kansas City drops its safeties into deeper coverage to be more prepared for the long pass. They line up in the I formation. Pressure coming. Gets rid of it.
And the defensive end again.
Yep.
At the 34.
You know, it's amazing they don't get more wide receiver injuries than they do getting hit by a guy like that.
Well, I don't think that the game really was built with what you're doing there in mind, eh?
Yeah, probably not, but with the way that some of these formations are half broken, I actually couldn't line up a linebacker properly in that position and actually make use of him, so that's why the defensive end. If it had been my choice, it would be a 4 linebacker, 2 lineman set. But you can't reverse that properly.
So they have first
With audibles?
Yeah.
Set. Purple, 36.
Oop. Uh-oh. This isn't going to go well.
Going to the air on first down. With the pass.
He came through the middle.
Yeah.
Takes him down.
All according to plan. What happened there?
Well, what happened is I just had a brain fart there. I was going to audible to a dive play up the middle, and I pressed the wrong button.
Oh.
Just because I'm so used to audibling to a pass, right?
Hawks come out in a nickel package.
Well, there you go. It kind of worked like a dive play.
Calling an audible. Flings it to the outside.
Aww.
Wow, he's dropped 2 in this game now.
Short pass incomplete. Brings
Yeah,
up
maybe you
first
should
down.
bench him for Sarah. I'd do that. Bench his ass.
Well,
As they get ready for this third down play, we'll take a look at
That way
how
Sarah
they've
can get
done
some time and
today.
develop
Third
too,
down
right?
conversions are usually a good barometer of how well your offense is playing. It means that your offense is making
Coming
big
up to play the
plays when
jam
they need it.
coverage.
yep.
Under pressure, gets the pass off.
Well, he managed to catch it and get the first down.
Yeah, he shoestringed it.
I had to get rid of that in an awful hurry, though, because they
what
were
I like
bringing
about this
everybody.
quarterback is how much he'll hit the receivers in the numbers. He puts a ball where either his guy will catch it or no.
Yeah,
one
hit him
will.
in the numbers. He just about had to bend over and pick that up off the tops of his shoes.
Yeah, maybe he's got numbers on the tops of his shoes, right?
Yeah.
Allen. Snow
That's a good run.
Yep.
At the 42,
I don't use this
Allen
play very
continues
much.
to
I
assert
prefer
himself with a running game.
the off-tackle run.
I think that play's working, though. I think you got to keep doing its work.
Well, the reason that I put this play in here is to use it against teams like this that like to play a 3-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Directing traffic. Number 86. Jackson.
5-yard run with Parkman.
48-yard line. Good blocking.
It's amazing how well a guy like that can run.
That was a good job by the back who just saw the hole, and boom, he hit it right in there for a few yards, and he got the chain gang moving.
Calling an audible now.
Well, we'll just keep pounding them in the middle now. We're playing with a big lead.
Fullback handoff. Cameron brings him down.
It depends on how well your blocking sets up too, right? Because if your blocking can't hold on to their man for longer than like a half a second or so, like that, it really doesn't matter who you're running the ball with, right?
Number 47 comes in motion.
Because what'll happen is that defender will just slide off of his block and then get you.
On the move. And he hits his target. Dives and brings him down at the
Easy yards for easily.
Got something going here.
Yeah, it's been one first down.
Yeah, well, the idea is I want to pound it up the middle like this, and then when they start to man lock and pull everybody in, that's when I'll go to that pass, right?
Directing traffic. Allen. Gordon is the guy who's there.
But you see what I mean there, even though Allen is a fast guy, right? Well, somehow, like, Mr. Right Guard there didn't block that linebacker like he should have. And Parkman didn't see him either by the looks of it. That's the guy that came through the line and made the play there, right?
We'll go back to the play on the field. To get the ball.
And that's because that guard was probably aiming at the strong safety or something, right?
Yep.
He'll get the call. Copeland makes the tackle at the 35. Good game for the offense here in the second half.
This is one of those guys who seems to play better as the game goes on. The more he gets the ball, the better he does. So I'd expect to see him get quite a few touches here as the game winds down.
10th play of this drive. The defense has had difficulty stopping them on third down.
Okay, we got some kind of zone defense going on here.
Looking downfield, throws it.
Well, you could have hit either of your short guys on that side.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I saw him, right? He was who I was looking at first.
Yeah, that coverage scheme was just a mess. I don't know what the hell they came out in, but they didn't have enough short coverage for anyone.
It looked like a safety blitz, right? Like they brought the safety on the blitz, and also possibly one or more of the linebackers. I couldn't see who all was coming, but I saw that safety come, right?
Yep.
So I basically just stood in there and waited for him to just so kindly get out of the way. There, he's making up for those drops, eh?
Yep.
Big gain after the completion, John.
He's got the kind of ability to turn just about any catch into a big play.
Well, now we can pound it at them 3 times.
So it's first and goal.
Well, I still got my 300 yards.
Yeah, I wonder what you're at now for passing.
About 6,400, I think.
He tucks it away. He's just got it across the goal line.
He was like a locomotive with a full head of steam.
No, Joe Winters was happy about that one.
Yeah, he's doing a little cheerleading there. Definitely, I think that I'm going to let you have the first draft pick this time around, and I think you probably need to go for another lineman.
Actually, I was going to go for a running back.
Well, one or the other, but You know, like you definitely should also try to improve the offensive line a little bit.
Yep.
The visiting team are set to kick it deep.
Because I think the left tackle has only got 70-something strength.
That's
you know,
right,
like
yep.
I think you need a better guy at tackle.
Booming kick downfield.
And yeah, you need another speed running back in case Kelvin Allen gets injured or something, right?
Great job on the last series, forcing the offense.
Because if he got injured right now, well, then all of a sudden your run game is out the window, right?
Well, then it just reverts back to a normal lifer style offense.
Yeah,
Right.
but that wasn't nearly as good as what you had going on last season.
Mark. Setting up play action. Caught by the fullback on the left side. Number 43. Picks up maybe a yard on that catch. 9 yards to go.
Of course, Clark can still run the plays. He's still good enough to run the plays. I just won't be getting like 15 yards at a time.
Yeah, well, you won't have that explosive, like that big play ability either, right?
That's right, yep.
Incomplete pass.
Oh, there you go. Thomas defended that one with his ass.
Yeah. Well, he did wave a hand at it.
Scramble out of the pocket and pick up a few yards.
It doesn't matter what part of him it hits, so long as it hits him.
Prevent defense here as they back up the safeties and corners. McGuire back in the shotgun. Throws it.
One of those boot routes.
Yeah, but it was way out of bounds. He couldn't connect on that one because it was thrown.
Yeah, he just threw it. He overthrew it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that the AI quarterbacks have problems with overthrows too, just like us.
Yep.
Here's the kick. Fair catch called for.
But I would say they definitely had a third quarter breakdown because I scored just as many points in the third quarter as I did in the entire first half.
Yep.
And suddenly their time of possession is probably way down and that kind of thing too, right? I mean, I don't think they were going to win this game no matter what they did, but they could have at least made it look better.
Looking to run it here.
Well, that's okay. Now you get a chance to run the ball some more.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to keep doing this for a bit.
Do your best Chuck Knox impression.
Just because the score in this game is going to get absolutely silly if I keep...
Well, but how will you ever reach 6,500 yards passing?
I think I might be really close to it already.
Pressure, throwing.
Wow, I just barely got away from the rush there.
And he's pushed out of bounds at the 31.
This is a great block. Watch here. He just barrels into the defender.
Yep, that was totally what made the play.
Now that is a textbook block right there.
Well, looks like Mills has got 100 yards receiving in this game.
Set. Bring it! Bring it! Let's get him! Come on!
We'll get the call again. He was
Holding.
really hit hard on that play.
Yeah, you
Yep.
talk about your depleter. That's what happened there. He unloaded and he got it depleted.
Okay, well, you know what?
I don't think that was part of the game plan.
They just want to make sure you get your 6,500 yards. See, they're even coming up to the line and everything. They're like, "Go, Sandman, go!"
Yeah.
Going to the air on first down. He's looking. He goes to the left side. He hits his
We'll give Rhodes a long one.
That's 3 times on this drive. They've been able to pick up a first down.
Yeah, and the thing is, they'll be doing more than just picking up first downs if this success continues. They're going to be picking up some points.
Set. Get ready. Okay, here we go. Get at him, D.
Number 86. Copeland pulls him down.
Well, somebody failed to block him that time.
Couldn't escape the pursuit and was cut down quickly.
These guys up front are very tough to block because they can use their size and strength to get excellent leverage on running plays.
Okay, well, now they got everybody up on the line.
But they always seem to be a big factor when the game's on the line.
So a fly to the end zone, And it's complete.
Oh, he must have had a foot in there. Or
Yeah,
something.
he
I don't
must have
know.
had a foot in there.
Gets some room and got it to him for 6.
Yep, definitely. Bo Jenkins ripped the league a new one this year.
They'll get set for the extra point. And it's on its way, and the extra point is good. The visiting team pour it on with another score. The visiting team are ready to kick this one off.
Ooh, that one might go out of
Should be a
bounds.
return here.
Because this guy will probably be a dick and he'll let it bounce. Oh,
Nope.
no, he didn't.
Line. They forced a 3 and out on the last series. So they have 1st and 10 here. The corners playing off a bit.
See, now that they're playing the way they are, I've reverted back to the other game
The
plan.
quarterback lines up with 2 backs behind him. Going to the left.
Well, he's not going to outrun anybody to the edge.
The defense is always very aggressive when defending the run.
To be fair, I don't think I've ever seen any running back outrun this defense to the edge.
Yeah.
Even the 99 speed ones can't do it.
Pressure coming.
The best thing you can do really is run up the middle face mask.
Stops the play in the backfield. He laid a good hit on him there for his 5th tackle of the game. They called it inadvertent.
You know, there's so many limbs flying and body parts moving around. You just tackle whatever you can and you grab anything that's moving. Sometimes you get a handful of mask.
Marsh is the deep back. Drops back. Goes with a short pass
Yeah.
to the right side.
Well, I don't think that had much of a chance.
Yeah, I don't know if it was me who got the hit on him or Cedric Perry, but one of us tried.
They were outnumbered on the line, and they still put on a good pass rush, forcing him to throw before he wanted to.
So 3 and out, and they'll line up to punt. Here's the punt. From the 39.
Can't run over that guy. That's a
Good
safety.
return there. That
Yeah.
could have been a real big one.
Hey, he showed some good vision there.
Well, I guess we'll just keep on doing more of the same here. Yeah, look at that, how the time of possession has slipped,
Got him a nice
right?
return for their team.
Hawks come out in a nickel
Really,
pack.
really, really bad.
Rolling it
They
on.
had a terrible third
Number
quarter.
47 in motion.
And the way they're playing, things are not going to be getting any better
He'll pass on first down.
anytime
Surveying
soon.
the field. Throws on the move. And he makes the grab. Great throw on the move, John.
I'll tell you, he might be even more
Yeah, I really
dangerous
don't
on the
know what
run
it
than he
is.
when he stands back there in the
I think there's something to it, though, right? The third quarter breakdown. So weird.
Yeah.
That's the yards that are earned after the
It's
catch.
like for
That really
some
depends on the
reason
receiver's
they don't
speed
keep
and his
doing
ability
what
to
they're
make
doing in
people
the
miss.
first half,
This
even if
guy's been making them miss
the game
all
is
day.
reasonably competitive, right?
Hand it off to the back.
But I think one of the biggest problems with the way that the AI plays defense in this game, because they're big on that fear the D and all that kind of stuff, I think what they're always trying to do is they're always trying to crush you, right?
Yeah.
You know, like there's no such thing as just playing a cautious, conservative defense that isn't going to give up any big plays. It's every play they run just
Is
about
all or nothing.
is all or nothing. They want to crush you for a loss, or they want to try and take the ball away from you, or some similar disastrous thing, right?
And if they can't do that, then they can't do anything.
That's right. Well, the thing is, though, if they can't do that, well, then
They're way out of position.
it often puts them badly out of position enough that they end up
Need to reach the 16-yard
giving up a
line
big
in order
play
to convert
instead,
the first
right?
down.
Come on with the stop, D.
Hawks come out in a
You know,
nickel
even here
pack.
they're playing man. I'll bet you they're sending both of those extra upright guys on either side of the line, and possibly the safety too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, nope.
Surveying the field with the pass.
Well, that time Coleman couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, but that was the safe thing to do, right?
That's
Yep.
incomplete.
Yeah, to
Especially
have a
because
good
that
look, throw a good
linebacker
pass,
rolled over to
and
the
have
other guy.
drop it, not good.
There was nothing you could do.
Yeah. But you know what? That was one
12,
time
and
when
the
they
kick
did
teams
something
come
that
on for
made
this field
sense,
goal
right?
attempt. The kick is up. He had plenty of room to spare. The visiting team continue to increase their lead.
But 9 times out of 10, they'll send 2 or 3 extra guys, and you'll have like empty places to throw the ball to all over the field, right?
Yep.
Unless they can get to you and sack you before you can throw the ball.
From the 5-yard line. The offense takes over after they were.
And that's actually the way I used to. I've actually gone through 3 different sort of phases in defense, because when I first, my early playbooks, like when we were playing with the lifers, I was playing a lot of 5-man line and I was blitzing a lot and that kind of thing, because I wanted to try and crush the offense, right?
Yep.
And that was when I gave up probably the most big plays ever too, right? And then I went to a very big cushion kind of thing, similar to what you're doing here, only even more so. But because I didn't want to give up any big plays, right? And I didn't give up any big plays, but I leaked yardage like crazy. So now I've gone to something else that is a little bit more neutral posture. And I don't blitz very much anymore. I rely more on a 3 or 4-man rush from the line.
Yeah.
And I try and play a more coverage-oriented defense.
Under pressure, gets rid of it.
Oh, that one was a touchdown if he'd have caught that.
Well, you know what they say, right? He brought his eye patch along with his peg leg and his hook hand.
Yeah, that's right. It's hard to catch the ball when you only got one hand, right?
Yep.
Nothing happening for the offense there, forced into a 3-and-out. Here's the kick. And he waves for the fair catch.
33-yard punt. Fair catch made at the 45-yard.
An audible now.
Black 64.
They give it to the halfback. Cameron makes the stop at midfield, and he picks up about 4. They have to get the ball inside the 45 to convert for the first down. Calling an audible. Jenkins sends a man in motion.
There, see, that's what that style of offense does, right? You keep pounding it in the middle there. And then they start man-locking and drawing everyone into the middle to stop it. And then that's when you can audible to a pass, right?
Changing the play now.
Stick 'em. Dog left.
They'll go with a run once again. Solid hit. Just crunched them.
And the thing is, when you get hit like that, it's like having a bumblebee in your helmet. You just can't get rid of it.
Convert for the first. They'll have to get the ball inside the 29-yard line.
Roger. Drill, switch it. Come on.
On the carry.
That's a face mask. Oh, they didn't call it.
Yep, they didn't call it.
Rigged officiating. It's all rigged.
Oh, well.
The unstoppable force won that one.
Nice job so far on 3rd down for the offense, and we'll see if that continues here.
Well, looks like they got a linebacker on Herman again.
Closing in.
Whoa.
On the run. Perfect pass. He's at the 20. And he's forced out of bounds at the 10. They convert for the first down on that throw.
And they ran the perfect play to get those couple of yards.
So it's 1st and goal.
He's got 3 catches for 81 yards. Wow.
Changing the play now.
Yeah, now they've got a lot of seats disguised as fans, or fans disguised as seats.
Yeah, fans disguised as empty seats.
Yep.
5-yard gain.
5-yard gain on the play.
4 more yards to finish off the drive with a touchdown.
Oh, here we go. Goal line defense now.
Oh, then perfect. You get to run the ball 3 times against it now.
Yeah. Well, they shifted the line over.
You know, it seems like the only time this defense fails is when somebody doesn't block somebody. Or the only time this defense
It's a
works.
fumble.
Parkman fumbled?
It's picked up.
I don't think I believe that.
Yeah, well, I'm going to challenge it.
So with the play in question, the coach has decided to challenge the call.
Yeah, and they might get this call reversed.
So what we're looking for here is whether one of his knees hit the ground before
Yeah,
the ball came out.
he's down.
Sometimes it's hard
They're
for the
going to
official
overturn
because
this,
there can
too.
be a whole bunch of bodies around the ball carrier, and he can't get a good enough view to overturn
Oh,
it.
they're going to... Okay, well, I guess it's a fumble.
Yeah, whatever. Totally not a fumble.
Took the time
Yeah.
to make sure.
I think usually when his hip hits the ground before the ball comes out, that means it's not a fumble.
They just decided they wanted to win this game.
They just decided they wanted the ball back.
Marsh, the
At
deep
this
man.
point, with the score being what it is, it's pretty much meaningless anyway, but, you know.
Back with the tackle at the
Well, that was an
9-yard
interesting
line.
way to cut
1 yard gain on
back
that
across the line for only 2 yards.
play. Deep in their own territory. Giving some cushion on the outside.
Watch the draw. Watch the draw.
You know what? We're going to rush from the tight end side.
Dropping back, throwing, and he hits his target. Miller pulls him down at the 15. 3rd and maybe 2.
Because I know that they'll leave that halfback in the block if I shift there, so...
Yeah, well. Yeah, you might as well, because that's the thing, right? They left the tight end in the block that time, but who are they going to throw the ball to, right?
I think he
You
might
know,
have
they,
been
they,
someone open.
I think
never
leaving
saw
that tight
it. He has
end
to
in the
make
block
better reads out
hurts them more than helps them, because that tight end, even if they don't throw the ball to him, he influences how the coverage works, right?
Very solid
Yep.
defensive
And if
effort
he's not
forced
out there
the 3 and out.
influencing how the coverage works, well, then suddenly, you know, the receivers that they do send out there
And he
are
chooses
covered
not
much
to
better,
return this one.
right? That's why I don't worry about it anymore. I used to shift to the side that was away from the tight end and all that kind of stuff.
Almost at the 2-minute mark
But the way I
now.
look at it now is if they want to leave him in the block, go right ahead. I don't care.
Number 86.
We'll give it right
Number
back
50
to him.
Records the stop at the 46-yard line.
Well, he's got a good enough reputation. I think that's his first fumble all season.
2-minute warning coming up.
Well, I mean, I don't run the ball as much as you do, but I know that neither of these two guys fumbled the ball very much last season. Not more than once or twice.
Yep.
And I'm not sure how many carries Kelvin Allen got, but it must have been something like, 1,000 carries or something
It was
ridiculous
between
like
40 and 60 a game.
that. Yeah.
He was the
Second down and
offense.
6 to go.
Yeah, he pretty much was the offense.
See, I had that long bomb passing offense.
Yeah.
It's just all the passes look like this.
Yeah. He's pantomiming a handoff there, folks.
He sees something in the defense. Throws it out over to the
Because
left.
what did
The
Chuck
40.
Knox say? Like,
Tackle to
as
bring
Santa
him down.
Claus?
Bad things happen when you go to the air.
Bad things happen when you go to the air. We're not flying this year. We're going to more of a ground game, right?
Yep.
Looks like he's calling an audible. Jenkins sends a man in motion.
Mad dog over.
Whereas, like when I play this way, my passing game tends to be more of a function of trying to hurt an aggressive defense that's trying to stop the run, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when in fact, that's just about what my whole passing game is designed around, even when I come out and call a pass.
Going to the air on first down. Gets rid of it, and it's caught.
Even with no audible,
Throw
right?
it and pick up a second consecutive first down.
Well, when you start to establish something, you want to keep it going until the defense finds a way to stop you.
Just over a minute still to go.
Well, I got 440 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Nice.
Calling an audible. Number 47 in motion.
Depending on how this goes, we might even have more. Because what they're doing now is they're forcing me to pass in order to maintain possession, right?
Lucy. Lucky. Come on now. Bust the play.
Passing on first down. Lobs
So I'm going to
into the
throw
end
another
zone.
one into the end zone to Mills.
He's able to get open in the end zone. Great play.
Oh,
Defense just
man.
seemed to lose
You know,
track
like,
of them down there. They have to
I'm
do a
holding
better
my
job
hands
keeping
here,
the play
weighing
in
as if
front of
I'm
them
on a scale,
so
and I'm
that
going,
kind of thing doesn't happen.
allow a 4-yard run or allow a 25-yard touchdown pass. Which one would you want to do?
The 4-yard run.
No, not when you're the AI. They'd rather, you know, like I said, they're trying to destroy you on every
Comes in for
defensive
the
play,
extra
right?
point.
It's an all-out attempt to crush your
And
offense.
it's on its way. The
And if
point
they
after
fail,
is good.
then you end
The
up
visiting
crushing them
team
instead.
have it all working now as they continue to expand their lead.
And the problem with these all-or-nothing plays that are big-time gambles like blitzes and crowding the line and all that kind of stuff is that more often than not, you lose those gambles, right?
Yep.
That's why they're called gambles. It's because you have at least a 50-50 chance, if not worse, of failing, right?
They forced a 3-and-out on the offensive.
That's why I
last
tried to
possession.
devise a defensive system that has some characteristics of aggressive play, but also,
It's first and 10.
you know, I can keep the two safeties back all the time, and I always make sure everybody's at least covered.
Marsh, the lone back.
I don't run very many partial man coverage schemes anymore and that kind of thing either, right?
Pressure.
I'd rather make sure everybody is covered by somebody,
33.
you know, than give up a big play, right?
Yeah, I actually run a lot more partial man coverage than you do.
Well, I used to run even last season. I used to run a lot of partial man coverage to the point where I've only got one man in man coverage, and then everybody else is playing zone, right?
That's very partial.
Yeah. In fact, you might as well call that a zone defense, and I played almost exclusively zone defense last season, right?
Yep.
Find your receivers who can pick up
But
yardage
I was
after the
playing
catch.
almost
But most
exclusively a
importantly,
4-deep zone
have to keep the
defense, which
chains
is
moving.
why, you know, against teams that were willing to either run. Oh, nice.
I finally got a sack.
Yeah, you finally got one. Well, that's the end of the regular season, folks.
And the clock runs out.
And we
The final
finished
score
undefeated,
is
and I think
Kansas
you
City
managed to
59,
crank your points
6.
per game allowed down to around 8 or slightly less.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to look at that next time.
Yeah, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, next time, instead of looking at a replay, we'll probably just look at the end season statistics. Because we did some pretty amazing things this season, I think.
Well, we'll have to see how it all works out.
Well,
All the Madden Challenge achievements.
all the Madden Challenge achievements in this game, yeah. Funny, this game started off reasonably close, 21-6 at halftime. Yeah.
And they didn't score after that.
And look at that, I managed 126 yards on the ground, in addition to 459 yards passing. So, there you go, and I lost the one fumble. Which meant that my offensive red zone scoring percentage was only 75%. Look at that time of possession, right?
Yeah, it totally flipped.
They almost didn't even have the ball in the second half. We almost had the ball on offense for almost the entire half.
Yep.
Right? Because they actually had the slight edge in time of possession at halftime.
Yeah, they were doing good.
Wow, look at that. 157 quarterback rating, 5 touchdown passes, completed 86% of my passes. There's Calvin Allen. He didn't quite get a 100-yard game, but he got close. And Parkman was 16 carries for 37 yards. Look at that, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So, there you go. And Rhodes had 9 catches for 94 yards, and Mills had a big day. And Herman had a big day. So, there we go.
Well, looks like tackles got spread around as per usual.
Yep, with the exception of Gooden there on the kickoff coverages.
Look at all the tackles for a loss, though.
Yep.
I got a tackle for a loss.
Well, I think that's a function, too, of the fact that they had a backup halfback in there who was a little slow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he couldn't get out of the backfield unless their blocking held up really well, right?
Only 2 sacks this game, though. That guy really loved forcing it into coverage all game long.
Yeah, he was doing that just to avoid a sack, right? I'm surprised you didn't get an interception or 2 in this game, really.
Well, you know, I mean, they mistake the jar of stickum for the jar of
I mean,
grease.
that last one there, you should have probably had a pick 6 on that one, right? Because there was nobody anywhere near that defender, and the ball just bounced off his hands.
Yeah, and then we could have aimed for you scoring 69 points in this game.
Yeah. Well, looks like he didn't do very well. He actually had something like a 74% completion percentage in the first half too, right?
Crazy.
But the thing is, though, you know, he threw 17 passes in the first half and completed most of them. But you look at this now, they had 17 running plays in the first half, and in the second half, they only ran the ball 4 times.
Yep.
And that's when things started to go off the rails for them too, right? They probably should have kept on with what they were doing.
Probably. How many drops did they get this game? It seemed like they got a few. Well,
No,
I guess only 2.
Only 2. So anyway, and it looks like that guy was a busy guy. Looks like their linebackers were busy because I ran the ball a lot more than I usually do.
Yo, that number 52 too. He's the guy who had the super tight coverage on the wide receiver on that play.
Yeah.
Who was like running step for step with the wide receiver. That's impressive. And I guess we can see why now. He's a Pro Bowl player.
Yep. Only 3 tackles for a loss, considering how many times I ran the ball. And one of those was that busted play, right?
Yep.
I think I am probably going to drop those, and I'll probably try Sandman Gun Mark IV for our first playoff game. Because that particular, those 2 formations don't seem to be really working out. So he punted 10 times. So they didn't turn the ball over, but they didn't do anything with it either. And the player of the game is...
Probably Bo Jenkins.
Do you think it's Bo Jenkins? It's Bo Jenkins.
It's always Bo Jenkins.
Yeah, he's always the player of the game. In fact, he might be, setting some kind of a record for offensive player of the week too.
Oh God!
Multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess next time when we're back, we'll be playing in the divisional playoff against whoever comes out of the wild card game.
Indeed.
So until then,
I'm RecV5.
I'm Sandman99.
Have a good one.